Welcome back to another video game review, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed my last review, which was WrestleMania 19, celebrating 20 years of the game last week. Now, this week, we're reviewing another wrestling game that is now 20 years old, WWE Raw 2. It's been a year since I did a review on the first Raw game in honor of its 20th anniversary. Now, a year later, we're reviewing the sequel of WWE Raw in honor of its 20th anniversary. After this, I got one more wrestling game to review that's turning 20 years old this year. So without further ado, this is my review of WWE Raw 2 for the Xbox. My review of WWF Raw from last year, looking back on that game 21 years later, there was some hits and misses that I had with WWF Raw. So let's see how my review of WWE Raw 2 will turn out. So let's go. WWE Raw 2 is a professional wrestling video game developed by Tokyo-based company Anchor Corporation and published by the now defunct THQ for the Xbox. It is the sequel to WWF Raw that was released in February of 2002. WWE Raw 2 was released in North America on September 16th, 2003, and a month later in Europe on October 20th. It was the last Raw game for the Xbox before it was succeeded by WrestleMania 21. Unlike the first Raw game, this was the first game in the Raw series to feature a season mode. It allows the player in the season mode to set up wrestlers, call out others from the locker room, hire managers, and form alliances. You can also edit wrestlers into the way you want, similar to WrestleMania 2000 and WWF No Mercy. Changing wrestlers to a heel or a babyface can also be done through the options. For example, we all know The Rock is a heel in this game. In this game, around that time, The Rock was in his Hollywood heel gimmick, but you can change him from a Hollywood heel gimmick to a babyface gimmick, Hollywood babyface gimmick. Or another example, I believe, I'm not sure if Hulk Hogan is in this game, but if he is, then he's a babyface. You can change him into a heel. Or you could change The Undertaker from a heel to a babyface. I kind of like that. You can change wrestlers. If they're a heel, you can change them to a babyface. If they're a babyface, then you can change them into a heel. Match stimulations, including Hell in a Cell, cage matches, and the Royal Rumble are also available in WWE Raw 2. And there's also referees from Raw and SmackDown that the player can choose. For example, if you wrestle in a Raw arena, you can have a SmackDown referee as the referee. Or if you're wrestling in a SmackDown area, you can have a Raw referee as a referee. I believe Earl Hebner, around that time, was the referee of Raw, and his son, Brian Hebner, was the referee of SmackDown. The positive about WWE Raw 2 is that, like I mentioned, you can change wrestlers either to a heel or a babyface, whether they're already a heel or a babyface. You can also edit wrestlers in any way you want. And this was the first Raw game to feature a season mode, unlike WWF Raw. The negative that I have about WWE Raw 2 is that the wrestlers are not selected in a particular order. Normally, when they would make a wrestling game like this in WWE, the good old days of WWF and WWE, they would always put The Rock first, then Stone Cold Steve Austin. But in this one, it's going to be hard to find The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, because normally when they make wrestling games like that, they would put The Rock first and then Stone Cold Steve Austin. Another thing that bothers me about WWE Raw 2, when you play the Royal Rumble match, Anytime you get eliminated, the announcer will announce you're eliminated like this. Eliminated. I'm like, what the hell is that? Why do the announcer has to say eliminated like that? I wish I could show y'all a video of the announcer saying eliminated like that every time you get eliminated in the Royal Rumble match. That really annoys me. But looking back 20 years later, Raw 2 is so much better than Raw 1. Because I feel like when they was making WWF Raw, I feel like they was rushing that game instead of taking their time with it. This one right here, Raw 2, they definitely took their time with it. And the walking entrances are much better than the walking entrances in the first Raw game. I would definitely prefer this over WWF Raw. I would highly recommend WWE Raw 2 to you. But sadly, this was the last Raw game for the Xbox because they only made 2 Raw games and they made 5 SmackDown games. I mean, it would have been cool if they would have made more Raw games. I wish they would have made another Raw game like WWE Raw 3. That would be nice. Raw 2 gets an official rating of an 8.5 out of 10. We got one more wrestling game to review that's going to be 20 years old next month, coming Friday, October 27th, the actual 20th anniversary. And that is the one game in the SmackDown series that you all been waiting for me to review. WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. That's coming on its 20th anniversary, Friday, October 27th. Thank you for watching my review of WWE Raw 2. Have yourselves a good night. Take care. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. No more talk.